Hi everyone, welcome to the very first episode of the Memoir podcast where we literally talk about everything and anything. So the reason why we created this podcast was so that we are all able to share our perspectives and views and opinions on certain issues freely, openly in a safe space. And we hope that all of you would enjoy this series of podcasts where we share our thoughts and that we really hope that you can enjoy and take something away from it. So before we begin, just a very short disclaimer that all of our video filming were done before the heightened alert. So don't worry, everything was in line with the safety measures back then. So you may sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Memoirs Podcast where we talk about everything and anything. So today we will be talking about a very sensitive issue, relatively sensitive. Yes, sensitive. Where we will be talking about gender. Yes, so before we delve into anything, when I mentioned the word gender, does like anything pop up to your, I don't know, any like personal stories or anything that come to you?
Gender, personal stories. This is very personal. I'm male.
Oh!
Gender.
New information!
Yes.
Yes! Oh, we need to introduce ourselves. That I'm male, she's female, and both of them are. So, I think the reason why we wanted to delve into this topic of gender, because I think especially for us, or maybe not for us lah, but I think we do see and sometimes we do experience gender inequalities amongst us.
That's right.
Although I think we have progressed quite far, but I think the part on the progress on gender equality maybe hasn't really caught up. Yeah, so that's why we probably decided that we want to share our thoughts.
Yep.
On this. Yeah. Yeah, I got a very interesting question for both of you. Right.
Both is who?
As in both the males, both.
Oh, okay,
both.
alright.
Okay, I'm a male also, but ideally, and hopefully we don't get haters for this. Ideally, we want a gender equal society. Okay, but in a society where it is somehow more, I think it's more obvious that it's skewed towards males. Okay, and since we are in a society where it's skewed towards our gender, would you actually want it to be equal? Like, and why? Because if we are at the winning end, why?
That's a very interesting question. Right.
What do you all think?
I mean, in an ideal world, I would say you need to strive for equality, right? Why? I mean, not so sure on the why on my end, right? But I mean, for me, it's just a very fair and no-brainer response that if towards gender we don't want to strive for equality, then what about the other topics on races? Okay, that's for another topic. But if I think all humans are born equal and should be regarded as equal. So no matter how the society has been constructed, maybe due to history or what, there will be still some level of inequalities. I'll still have to acknowledge that, but I mean, it's a no-brainer that you still have to strive for equality. Yeah.
Okay. I think for me, right, I would want gender equality for one very simple reason. Because I got a mother and I might have a daughter and I probably will have a wife, and I probably don't want them to be discriminated also.
Right.
But rather I would want them to be
That's
not
a very
say
good
judged,
point.
but I want them to be
You want them to be seen as equal also in the
correct,
society, right?
correct, yes.
Agreed.
So I think to me that is one motivating factor lah. But today, let's say today, if I got no relations with any females, then maybe it may be slightly difficult for me to find a reason for me. As in, it's not like any altruistic thing, but I think it's just because people around me may face this, and I don't want that to happen to them. So
yeah, that's a very good point.
So I think for this point on gender, right, I think there's quite a number of places where it manifests. Whether is it workplace, I think workplace. I think for you all that are working, you all probably can
can share a bit more on the workplace. But then apart from that, I think there's this term called the objectification of women that I think also has been common, quite a commonplace, especially now a lot of weird news and stuff like that. So yeah, okay, maybe let's just start with workplace.
Alright, sure.
So for workplace, okay, I read this survey, right? Okay, not okay, or more like I've seen this set of data that says that generally there is a belief that males are better at work compared to females.
Males are better.
In what sense better?
Better as in performance.
Right.
Any take on this?
I think generally perform. Okay. From what I see is, I mean, it's not true in my case because right now, my workplace, the assistant managers in my team are all females. So
Wow.
Okay.
What
about the managers, like the higher level?
Okay, I'm not so sure on the statistics and all, but definitely they are females.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. But I didn't observe any situation such that one is performing better than, where you can just deem that male is performing better than female. I didn't observe that. And up until now I also don't observe.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't think we are experienced enough to be able to observe that also.
Right.
Because we are still
Right.
entry level
Just started.
employees. So we don't know how well they perform, but so far from what I experienced is I think they all perform well, regardless of gender. So it's not like female is performing worse than males or what, but
So gender has no correlation to, or doesn't
yeah,
seem to-
at least for my workplace, I don't think so.
Okay. What about the female's view? Chang.
Yeah, it's the same thing. As in, okay, maybe not really workplace, but I mean, like, 4 of us we worked together before. I have to say, some areas is like I'm better at it, and some areas they are better at it. But it's not a gender kind of thing. It's just based on, like, I don't know, personality. Basically, it's just the human, So, for example, I'm better at planning. He's better at, like, maybe EQ, talking to people, or like he's better at, like, data. He's better at, like, empathy, or maybe talking to the rest of, like, our members. But that's just, like, the human nature, not based on, like, gender. I feel. So it's, I don't know. It's very hard to just, like, pinpoint that somebody's better in like certain areas just because of gender.
Okay, but then it boils down to this now. If we have different strengths, naturally, different strengths have different perceived value, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that probably has led, because I think the data has shown for the same amount of work done, males are paid higher.
Yes, that is
Right.
very true, especially in Asian countries. I think if you look at some, modern Asian countries like Korea and Japan, if I can quote, hang on. For example, right? Okay, I'm not so sure. Korea, right? Or Japan, sorry, 23.5% wage difference.
Wow.
What Korea?
Should be soft.
Japan. Korea is higher.
Male,
Korea is more
males
than,
higher, I presume.
Yeah.
Yes, Korea is more than 30%.
Wow.
What the hell?
Wow.
Okay, let me rant about this, okay?
But yes, data-wise, I think you didn't expect this from, like, quite progressive country, Japan, Korea.
I didn't expect Japan and Korea.
But what maybe something that my hypothesis is that the Asian culture that is very deeply rooted in the society is
patriarchal.
Yeah, you favor
Males over females.
you
And
prefer
also-
son over daughters.
And also maybe males will usually if you are husband and wife, then husband will give money to the wife also.
So again, it's very, very deeply ingrained in us, and that if we want to move away from it, we probably have to take active steps to step away from gender discrimination or even gender inequality, I think. No, I can't remember, was it Michelle was sharing with me or Wilson was sharing with me previously, right? Something to do with maybe it was Michelle. that shared with me even at the interview stage at work.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I think.
Yeah, you want to share?
Yeah, I think. As in, my friend shared with me that, like for example, it's a engineering company. It's a CS company basically. So like, they say the aim of the company, because CS company, or basically tech company, right? I think they are the first few companies or the first few industries that try to implement gender equality in their company. But ironically, right, they kind of purposely set the questions to be easier for female. Why? Because they want to let in more female to the company. So I feel that's very ironic in a sense. They lower the standard purposefully to let in more female to the company and achieve the 50% male to female ratio. Yeah.
I can. What's it called?
Vouch for that.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that.
Really?
yeah.
Because he works in a tech company.
I mean,
okay.
I went to an interview before,
Mm-hmm.
and my friend also did an interview in the same company.
Okay.
Similar position, I would say.
Yeah.
But different
Questions.
Levels of
different
question.
levels of question.
Is it a very big?
I would say yes. Like for me, okay. Usually for tech company, they will, they will test your technical
Correct.
Knowledge.
ability,
Yes,
technical knowledge, right?
Yes.
Which was tested, which I was also tested when I interviewed.
Yeah.
But my female friend, I think maybe more like just getting to know each other, or more like
Those HR
behavioral question,
Yeah.
instead of testing your technical
Okay.
ability. So yeah, I can vouch for that, yes. But I don't know if it applies to everywhere, but I agree that some companies, they did set easier interview questions to female for the sake of
Letting more females in.
letting more females in to reach the quota. The quota is.
Yeah.
Which is very ironic.
Very
What if doing this help them to achieve 50%? Do you think that is a good way?
I think it's just wrong way.
Yeah, it's the wrong way.
They want to achieve a result which is a good result,
Yeah.
but in a wrong
process.
procedure or process.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, by means it's how to say. I don't know if it's a pressure from the peers company or like the
Yeah.
government law or whatever. Like they need to have a target. Oh, by this year I need to reach this 50%
Correct,
for male
correct.
and females. But it's just gonna lower the quality, I would say.
I would say it's more of like branding, because I feel it's like 2021, right? Everybody is
yes.
just striving for like, gender equality lah, fair workplace, etc. So they try to brand themselves as a very positive workplace, when apparently it's not. I would say it's more of like lowering their standards, or like looking down on women's capability, which might not be the case.
But after I think about it, I think maybe it's also because it's hard to find female graduates that majors in
Okay.
The
the tech stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
okay.
Because it's actually, as we all said previously, it's like it's deeply rooted
Correct,
in our
correct.
tradition or
Yes.
our culture or whatever. So
yes.
when we were brought up from kids, from when we were very young until
You had a
we
notion
reached-
with it.
yeah. So it's like not a lot. Even the percentage of female to male comparison when we entered, when we take this degree is like it's quite a huge difference. So maybe due to that situation, right? For them, they just want to secure first, a lot of females,
Okay.
so they can reach. Then maybe in the future, I hope lah,
Yeah.
when more and more females are, getting this kind of degree,
Then they don't
then
need
they don't need to do this, because I think
Okay.
this is not.
That's a
Maybe
very
it might be
fair
a
point.
I
Yeah,
think
that's a very fair point.
maybe lah, maybe.
Back on the topic of, say, in the workplace, right? I think a lot of times, I think we are trying to move towards workplace equality, and hopefully it will be more anchored in meritocracy, like more merit based. But apart from work, right, I think the social part when it comes to gender, right, is a very, very big part of it. because I think everything boils down to how we interact socially. So just now I mentioned the example of my friend saying like, oh, females, hey, go to the kitchen and make me a sandwich. Because we guys here are talking about serious stuff, that kind of thing, right? I think that also reveals how people generally see each other. Okay, for example, there's this notion that guys should be breadwinners. And then females are less of a breadwinner, and maybe they still earn because now I think dual income is very, very common. And I think it's much more sustainable. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that? On say guys being the breadwinner? And I want to start with Michelle.
Why?
And I'm going to target Michelle on this. In a way that would you rather your partner to be the not so breadwinner, but the breadwinner? Means that it's the higher source of income.
Higher.
No leh. Okay, but
Preference.
Okay, but I should say that I'm quite different in this sense.
Okay,
I feel I'm not the norm.
Yes, Michelle is not a normal girl. She's less typical.
It's so unique and so special.
One in a million or 1 in 7
One
million.
of a kind.
One of a kind, yes.
Yeah.
One of a kind, yes.
In a sense that I feel fortunate that I grew up, or like I'm brought up in a way that I should be able to depend on myself. So in a sense, like I shouldn't depend on the male partner, But again, that's a very unconventional kind of parenting, I feel. So no, I wouldn't want the guy to be the breadwinner. Instead, I don't mind being the breadwinner of the family.
Wow.
As in like, why not?
This is the first time I heard.
As in like, if the guy is able to like educate the children better and able to like, and is more passionate about it, then why not? If it's the best for the kids.
So
Why
do
not?
what you're better at.
Yeah lor.
Okay.
That being said, I understand that most female will want their guy to somewhat be the breadwinner, and as in I can feel that pressure. For example, like my friends are, for example, like their parents will tell them, like my female friends, their parents tell them like, you must find a guy like, like smarter and then like earn this much, more reliable, blah blah blah. So based on that fact, it's pretty clear that the society will want the guy to be the breadwinner.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And on the point of breadwinner, right? So just now I asked you for your perspective, and when you mentioned something, you mentioned that you don't mind being the breadwinner. Right? I think the three of us reacted in a certain way. Okay? And I feel like if you say, oh, let's say the guy, or let's say Wilson wants to be the breadwinner, I think all of us will be like normal. But when a female says that she wants to be the sole breadwinner, we'll be like, wait,
this is the first
what's
time
wrong?
I heard.
Okay, obviously I don't see what's wrong with Michelle, but I think generally when somebody says that, right, you'll be like, wait, is that like not balanced? Like it's just not aligned with something. So yeah, I think that is one very big sign of this whole social construct of males should be breadwinners and females maybe not so much of the need. I don't know about your, but your face this pressure. Okay, maybe for Jeff maybe it'll be a bit difficult because not in relationship yet.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Maybe Wilson. Do you face this pressure? Let's say today your partner earns more than you. Let's just say earns more than you. Do you feel a sense of pressure that you need to earn more than your partner?
Honestly, right, this hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
But honestly, if I were to like just predict, there's this part where, what was the correct word? I think ego. I think
yes.
Yes, your pride. I think it's just like hurt a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe I know it's not correct, but
Okay.
it just hits.
Okay.
You get what I
okay,
mean?
okay.
I'm not gonna lie about that. Maybe because of the societal expectation
Alright.
also.
Yeah.
Again, back to that again, right? Usually men are expected to earn more.
Yes.
So I mean, maybe not to the level of you know what? I think it's like at least my income can sustain myself, her income can sustain herself. At least that's the bare minimum, right? Then I think I'll be okay with that also. Right?
Okay, let's just I'm just going to give you hypothetical numbers.
Right.
Let's say 5k. Okay,
Right.
let's say 5k is enough to sustain yourself.
Yes.
Okay, I mean it's more than enough, lah,
Right.
but I just for that, let's say today you're earning 5k and she's earning 12k.
Right.
Will you feel the sense of pressure?
I think I will.
I think I will also.
I think I will.
Mm.
Honestly, there's a huge stellar difference because first, right, I think pride is hurt.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
right. Second is the thought of how will she perceive me.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Second. Third, right, I think it's also very important is how will her family perceive me also.
Her family. Okay. Yes.
No, that's what I want to bring up is that it's not only from ourselves, it's
Okay.
from the surroundings.
Yes.
Yes.
You
Yes.
see,
yes,
right?
yes.
Let's say from Michelle's case, right? If let's say she wants to be the breadwinner and she doesn't mind, let's say her partner,
That's true.
being the one raising up the kids
Mm.
and whatever, doing the household, right?
Mm.
Imagine if that really happens
Mm.
in this particular situation,
Mm.
this
Yeah.
particular time,
Mm.
how would the guy feel?
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
imagine you are doing the household.
Mm.
Even if you are really passionate,
Mm.
like in raising the child, you are very good at it,
Mm.
but see, I mean, we all humans have
Yep.
feelings,
Yeah.
and as much as we can avoid having those negative thoughts, at one day you will still have that thoughts.
I think because we are still affected and influenced by how people perceive us.
Yes.
Yeah. And since we are on this topic of partners, right? I think I shared with you all before, and I have spoke to friends relating to this before, which is very similar to what we talked about. That guys tend to date equal or lower, and girls tend to date equal or higher. Agree or disagree?
Okay, the higher and lower what? What do you
Okay,
mean?
okay. I mean, the higher and lower is really self-defined, but I think we have a notion, like we all have a certain way of seeing what is higher and what is lower. I mean, it can manifest in many forms. It can manifest in maybe salary lah, sense of firmness lah, decision making skills lah, and things like that. As in, do you know what? As in,
Yeah.
I think
Understood.
I think you all can understand, but I don't know how to put it exactly in words.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to define what's high and what's low, but I think we get the gist of
Yeah, I think I understand what you mean.
yeah.
For me personally, right, at least on the same level, that kind, not drastically like way above me. Yeah, because
It's the pride again.
yes,
Pride.
it attacks
Right,
the ego.
yeah, correct.
Simple set.
Yeah, fair enough.
Simple set. Yeah.
Wait, but then male got ego, female also got ego. What?
But
Then-
what shape? What's the society? The society shape
Yeah
us
lah,
to
that's
think,
true
Yeah,
you know.
hustle.
That's true lah.
Yeah.
So what? So not our fault lah. Society's fault lah.
No.
It's not.
We're not saying that, but I mean, we cannot just put the blame on the society.
Yeah, correct.
But
correct.
I think, I think that's how we adjust programs.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, since we are discussing on this and we are not aware of this, there's nothing wrong, right? I mean,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
differing or whatever, it's just a preference, I would say. I mean, as for relationship, as long as it works for both parties.
Yeah.
Correct. Because I also do know of guys that say prefer stronger girls. Nothing wrong with that. And I also know of girls that prefer less. Okay, I won't say less strong, but maybe more. I don't want to say more female, but more.
I mean, we just take out the gender.
Okay,
female and male,
correct. So
right?
it's just
Yeah.
two people
Yeah, two people.
fitting their
It's
preferences.
just preferences.
Yeah, preferences.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
for
enough.
me, it's just that.
Yeah, and I think this same thing should also be applied even in workplace. Like whatever, just go according to what the company needs, and it should be means that in their decision function, there should not be the gender parameter. Oh, suddenly sounds so
Wow.
like whoa, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that and I think it always starts with being aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, just being aware if we have this bias. So let's move into the topic of say rape. Okay. You know that in Singapore actually in the eyes of the law, only females can be raped. Means that only men can rape females,
Not the other way
but
around.
not the other way around. Okay.
Michelle benefit.
Yes, so Michelle benefits, and then the guys like us have no choice.
I mean, to be very
Sounds good.
to be very honest, to be very honest, I cannot imagine how a guy can be raped. Like it's very hard. It's very hard for me to
Why?
like get a definition of
As
it.
in-
True.
Mechanically, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mechanically.
What if the guy is tight?
Whoa, there's some huge king there. Oh my god, it's good man.
Maybe sleeping pills.
Yeah.
Then just tight.
That's true.
I mean, there must be a way.
There's this theory.
Right.
There's this theory.
Right,
I
right,
agree,
Okay, right,
But
right.
I
This-
agree.
This may go a bit sexual, but there's this theory that for anything to happen, right, the guy must be hard. And
Must be
hard.
hard.
Hard. So even if you use sleeping pill, right?
It won't go hard.
Correct. It might not.
Sleeping pills only to restrict the guy from resisting.
No, correct.
Movement.
As in, if
Okay, wait.
He
The
resists his-
rape here we were talking about must involve penetration.
okay, so according to Singapore law, let me just check.
It's different from molesting already.
Okay, so
altogether.
so according to Singapore law, Penal Code S375.
What's
Check,
that?
I think it's section 375 of the Penal Code. It defines rape as the act of a man penetrating a woman's vagina with his penis without her consent.
right.
Her.
Oh.
Her consent. That means that if she consents to it naturally, let's say if it's a female raping, then it is not rape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means that. Yeah. So that's why it doesn't protect men.
Yeah.
If I say men does not consent,
Correct.
but I mean there might be cases whereby I mean sleeping pills is just the
An
initial
example.
Correct.
action, where after you go to sleep, deep sleep, then after that maybe they just tie your hand, tie your leg, everything. Then when you wake up, then they start to do something. You also did not
Oh, that's
consent
true.
to
That's
that.
true.
You did
My
not
God, that's
consent
not
to
the
that.
features of rape. Okay.
Yeah, that's also should be a rape. No,
Okay. I mean, as in, okay, we are in no position to change the definition for now. We may be influential in the future.
Discrimination.
Yeah.
Discrimination.
As in, so that being said, right? As in, and I brought it up because it kind of links back to how we view gender.
Right.
Because when we talk about gender equality, a lot of times we look at how both genders should be treated equally, if not equally, at least try to be equal. But in this sense, I think it's quite straight up. It is not equal. So, do you think that, okay, to be very honest, I can see why the law is crafted in this way. I mean, you
Yeah,
look at
there's
it.
more
Yeah,
cases.
correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
As in, recently got the case of the doctor.
Which doctor?
Okay, it's not very recent. It's the one that the female went to see the doctor and the doctor just started. It's supposed to be checking
right.
whether got lumps or something, but the doctor ended up fingering her.
Oh.
Yeah, and then and as in there are so many cases that I think it's quite apparent that it is the guy that initiated and whatever. So I think the law is crafted because of this data.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can see why. Yeah, but I'm just thinking whether will such laws worsen the situation of gender inequality. Yeah.
I don't know.
Not so sure.
Yeah, I'm also not very sure.
I'm not so sure on it because I mean, laws are created because quote unquote there's a demand for it. You
Oh,
get
right.
it? You get what I mean,
The
right?
social
So,
contract, yes.
right. So,
Especially in Singapore case, I feel a
Mm.
lot of the law is crafted based on cases.
Yes.
So like how they, I think if I'm not wrong, especially the business law, how they do things is based on
What
like
happened before?
what happened before, and then they kind of like quote the example or like the story
right,
in the law
right,
itself.
yes.
Correct.
So maybe there's not that much cases
Mm.
in terms of like girls raping guys,
Correct.
such that it's like it's big enough to make them create a law.
But
Mm.
even
So-
so,
So yeah. So I feel like okay, this for sure it is a very clear sign of gender inequality. Very, very clear. But then I think the question with policymakers is that so if you imagine policymakers, right?
Yeah.
On the one hand they have this data that shows okay, guys more likely to rape.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very, very sweeping statement based on cases. And then there
Mm.
is also the part on gender inequality. And they are tied between the two. So I feel like okay, honestly, even if you ask me, and let's say even if you choose, right, I really don't know. I really don't know which one which one is more important. Whether it's gender equality more important or is protecting. I don't know.
For the case of
Protecting
rape,
what?
right? For the case of rape, right?
Mm.
I believe molesting it also protects guys. I believe. I don't know. I'm not so sure. Okay. Let's just. Okay, we're not so sure on that. We need to do research on that. But okay, let's talk about the rape first, right? Even if the policymaker want to achieve that gender equality, right? I don't know, man. My personal opinion, it's very hard. Specific to rape. Specific to rape, I think it is very
That's true.
hard.
Okay.
So
So the easier way would be to protect.
I think just make do of what we have right now. I think.
Okay.
I mean, put gender equality aside for this legal aspect. I think
Okay.
it protects the women already, and
Okay.
I think for now that is good enough.
Okay.
For the needs of the society.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, for now, but let's say in the future, I'm not saying that we must wait until such cases happen then we make the
Yeah.
law, but I think as of now it's still very
Based on
hard.
numbers lah. Based on numbers.
Based on
Yeah.
numbers and based on I don't know. I just
But
cannot,
actually-
I just cannot imagine, man.
But actually, there is no harm in imposing such law also.
There is no harm.
No, as in, I understand what you mean, but when you try to roll out law,
Yeah.
it has to be very specific that there's
Correct,
no
correct.
ambiguity.
Correct,
That's the
correct.
hard part.
Yeah.
Correct.
In a sense,
When
like
interpreting the law, yeah.
in a sense, like I understand that this will be beneficial, for example, for guys or maybe for females also in general. Just that if because of practicality reason, right? I feel if I'm a government, there's no point for me to create something that is hypothetical. But
Okay.
that's just my point of view.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but in a sense, like if there's no case like that, why should I make one for it? I can't predict the future kind of thing.
Okay.
I feel. And then because also people learn from experience. So for you to be able to create a policy or something that's very specific, you must have like certain clarity to it.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, so since we were on the legal aspect of things like rape, right? From in Singapore there is this thing called the Women's Charter, which kind of outlines the rights of women. That aims to say, I won't say empower females, but just to protect the rights of females. And as in, it was crafted a long time ago, and then of course it's meant to protect the rights of females because previously when Singapore was still a very, very young nation, I mean we still are, but when we were younger, I think there was much greater female discrimination. So that's why this set of laws were put into place. And now, okay, I mean they are reviewing it, but there's one clause in the Women's Charter that's very interesting, which is, let's say today male and female divorce. Okay, because you know now, there are higher divorce cases
Yes,
and all.
right.
So such issues are being surfaced. So when male and females, when they divorce, right, according to the Women's Charter, right, the Women's Charter states that that women are not allowed to pay for alimony. You know what alimony means? Every month the 赡养费.
Alright.
赡养费. Like if they divorce, right, then they need to support. Like usually, in dramas it's always like the guy has to pay for the
Yeah.
female, like every month, give allowances. Now whatever they see in the drama is true in Singapore, that it is that for women they're not allowed to pay alimony.
Not allowed.
Not
Yes.
allowed.
Wow, okay, that's
So,
So
but
it
men
protects-
are
So men,
it's compulsory.
Okay,
men are required.
so the best case scenario for men is that if there's no alimony, best case scenario.
Right.
But it is not possible that the women pay for the alimony. Even if there is, it's the men paying.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
The
Which
alimony got like minimum.
I know. I think it's dependent on as in it's
Depend on the court.
depend on the court. Yeah, because a lot of things have, whether is it your own earning power, children, your
Right.
assets, whatever. As in, all these have to be counted very
Very
clearly.
clearly.
Yeah. So that was just one point I wanted to bring up. That from the legal aspect, I'm just wondering whether from the legal aspect whether the laws in place worsens or maybe doesn't move towards gender equality.
Yeah.
Maybe I think with changing in times, maybe in the past, women don't have that earning power,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, if you are saying not allowed, I think because that's very, very clear. You know, women,
Yes means yes, no means no.
yes, right. So I think with the change of time, maybe I will move more towards to if we can. There are a lot of things that should be considered, a lot of factors which I'm not so sure of. But right now I'm leaning more towards
Reviewing.
yes,
Yeah.
review that particular clause that you just mentioned as well.
I think it's like a pipeline. It all starts from ourselves.
Okay.
Then it maybe goes to your family.
Okay.
Then maybe your friends. Then eventually maybe your workplace, everything. Then when such case, when there are such case occurred, right? Then definitely they will need to review lah.
Yes.
But it all starts from ourselves. That's why
Correct.
but it cannot take effect immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
Just definitely.
Since you're on that, right? What do you think that individuals like ourselves, what can we do to say move towards a more equal society, and a society that can be less discriminatory?
I would say start with like self-awareness.
Okay.
In a sense, like, how should I put it? It's like by understanding your strengths and, for example, weaknesses, and then to like know, start from like your surroundings. I wouldn't say like you, as in, yeah, ideally, if we can revamp this whole society, then that'll be great. But I mean, let's be realistic. If you yourself don't start to review your beliefs or like review your point of view towards like your society, then how can you change your society?
Correct.
So start with my own awareness, and then next is to spread the awareness to like my surroundings, like maybe like my friends, or how I treat my parents, how I treat my friends, my family, etc. I would say that will make a difference, at least in my society that I so-called.
Your surroundings.
Yeah, my
lah.
surroundings,
Yes.
Yeah. Then maybe I'll spread from there.
I think it's need to be conscious of, whatever statement that we make. Because sometimes, not sometimes, but most of the times, we are not aware of these.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, for example, let's say, that guy is so successful, can earn so much. Then his partner don't even need to work or whatever. Then most of them maybe our comment will be, it's normal, he's a guy. Or maybe, she's so good at talking to people or whatever. It's normal, she's a girl. She's good. Girls should be good at this. Maybe we should be aware that such comments shouldn't be made for me. So really, it's just maybe his or her personality characteristic, his or her a good traits not because of gender.
Correct.
But really because of maybe his or her efforts.
So in a sense, like, see somebody not as their gender, but not based on their gender quality, but based on like their human, I would say, human traits. Just as a
qualities.
human.
There's nothing to do with gender for me. I think need to be aware of that because this is very common.
Just want to add on that as good as it may sound, it's pretty hard.
Yes,
Yes,
it's very
it's
hard.
gonna be very, very hard.
Very hard, right? So let's just strive to be better and correct ourselves along the way, lah. I mean, I think all of us all agree here that admit that we're not perfect yet, and those kind of thoughts or even comments may come out from all of us. But anyway, on me personally, just start with numbers again, right?
Okay.
So, I think historically speaking, we've kind of come a long way, and I believe we have progressed a lot. If we are talking about equality alone, not gender, right? If you look far back in the past, slavery exists.
Okay. Yes.
Women are not, given the equal opportunity to pursue education. Anyway, right now, I think there are some statistics that there are even more women that has, tertiary degree qualification as compared to men. More women.
Oh, is it?
Nice.
I forget the number already. I think
Okay.
it's about 68%.
That's very high.
Those kind, right? More than compared to men. But I mean, that's already a huge step forward. But then again, we've raised some issues on, there's still some inequalities here and there. I think we have improved. Keep that steady. Hey, not some numbers again. according to the World Economic Forum, right,
Mm.
that I've just read, I think I shared with you guys also,
Mm.
it will still take about another 130 to 150 years. Around
Mm.
there,
Not within my lifetime.
to really 100% close the gender parity or this gender gap. So, I mean, long way to go. But for me, I think, I'm not sure how they measure it, but such number can exist, can be calculated that, hey, boom, 100 plus years.
Mm. Linear regression.
Whatever that
Whoa.
is, whatever that is, right? In a way, I think that is pretty assuring for me
Mm.
that we are
There's a
at
possibility.
least we are on the right track. There's a
Mm.
possibility for
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again on a very personal level, I think they have mentioned of start
Mm.
the main point there is that start with our support.
Mm.
Right.
Before we wrap up today,
Mm.
any other thoughts that you have on the concept of gender equality or
I think for me, it's just, I think there's a pretty optimistic, you know, for going forward. I think it's quite optimistic that the condition I think will improve. I think, the fact that we are discussing this right now, and
Yes.
I think, you know,
Mm.
It's a good step forward.
yes, I think,
Yeah.
and not only us, I think there are a lot of people out there that's
Mm.
advocating for gender equality.
Yes,
I believe one day it will make a change,
Yeah,
make a
yeah,
difference.
correct,
So
correct.
yeah, I think
Mm.
I'll just be optimistic.
Yes.
With
And
what will happen in the future.
hopefully all of you all that are listening will also share this same I won't call it a vision, will also share this same ideal that hopefully we want to work towards a more equal society, whether it's workplace, you know, whether in family, that we see each other as equal rather than female, male, that kind of thing. I mean, we are still males and females. Please don't misconstrue me. We are still males and females, but how we see each other doesn't matter. Like, so what if you're male? So what if you're females? Then that will not matter anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yes. Okay, so we'd like to use this opportunity to thank all of you for listening to us go on and on about gender equality. And we hope that you
Learn
also
something from
do yes, and that whatever that we share again is on our own personal basis. Is what we think, and yeah, hopefully we hope that you have learned something, and
And I think last one, if you have any feedbacks for us, right, just
Yeah.
you know, put it in the comment section or whatever way you can put it down there.
Or
yes,
like maybe the topics that you want us to cover
Mm,
next.
yes.
yes.
Right.
So yes, because again, right here at Mema's podcast, we talk about everything and anything.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.